you must be a moron if you don't like to sell. Now, I know that's a bit harsh, but let me cook here. So, I don't know why our generation has the stigma that sales is something that is like yuck, or it's cringe, or it's like dirty work. What we don't realize is all of us, like just spend the next 1 week and be as self aware as you can. We all are selling ourselves in one way or the other. Maybe we're selling the perception of trying to be cool. Maybe we're selling the perception of trying to be smart. Maybe we're selling the perception of trying to be like super athletic, or, this fun person, or this chill person, or this super popular person, or I don't know, all these different persons that we're trying to be. We're all doing it, right? From a very young age, be it like the auntie down the neighbor who you thought made good laddu, you are like being super nice to her. You are like, in a way, and I get fucking laddus. That sounds so wrong. Like it could be either Chota Beam shit or it could be super inappropriate. But you get the idea. We are all selling ourselves from a very young age. We've been doing it. It's very much there. Now, for me personally, I also struggled with it, right? I also struggled with this whole idea of I don't want to be salesy because it's like cringe. That was one idea. Or it's like I am too good. Why should I sell myself? Like with football, I had this idea, right? I would not go and speak to coaches because I was like, dude, I'm too good. Like, what the fuck? Who wants a network? These guys will come running after me. I'm not going to go behind them. And maybe to some extent, I guess that ego helps, like, with your self confidence and all that. Maybe it's even overconfidence. But for the most part, I remember thinking that to myself that I don't need to do that because I am too good. And that sort of carried on even when I've actually started doing sales, because it's like, yeah, we are too good. Like it might help with like the premium business side of thing, but even in that, there's some nuances. Like just the other day, I was watching this video about how when you're selling premium businesses, it's not you can't buy us, right? It's more so that you can't have it, because that sort of thing, like where you tell somebody not to do something, the more likely they are to do it. So it's not like about us, it's really about them. It's like, hey, you can't get this, not hey, you can't afford it, or hey, we're too good for you, or any of that. So anyways, a little bit side tangent, but the idea I'm trying to get across is I thought that I'm too good for shit, so I won't sell, or I am a prodigy, so I don't want to sell myself. That was one sort of limiting sales belief that I had. Another thing was I thought, like, dude, it's like salespeople are so yuck, like they keep forcing things onto you. And what I realized is actually doing sales right now, and even like in probably one of the toughest sales industries in our country, I would say maybe I think finance in general is really tough, but being in the insurance line of sales and trying to speak to customers, as long as I believe in what I'm trying to sell, I see true value in insurance. I'm not just saying this because I work for an insurance company. Knowing the product, knowing how these things work, how like the security it can give you, it genuinely makes sense. It's as simple as that. So that's one thing that's helped me with that. With the prodigy mindset thing, I have realized that the work is gonna have to get to you at some point. Like you can think you're the best at something. Eventually, I think we all get humbled. I don't know if we all get humbled or not, but I definitely did with football. Right now, I know that, hey, don't be as cocky. Like, sure, you might be talented, you might be good, you might be hardworking, you might be all of these things, but being like nice to people, going out and speaking to people, socializing, networking does help. Or even if it does not help, at least like you increase your odds, right? If it's a game of probability, you increase your odds. I think another misconception is the opposite end of the spectrum, where we think some people are just natural salesmen. Like some people just know how to get people to buy things, or they just know how to get people to move because they have this charisma, they have this aura. Let me tell you this. I mean, even the greatest of salesmen, right? Like, let's take Steve Jobs, for example. probably one of the greatest salesmen of our generation. If you actually read what went behind a Steve Jobs presentation, you would know the amount of work it took to be able to sell the way that he does. Maybe there is talent involved. I'm not going to lie with Steve Jobs, maybe there is talent involved. But you can't escape the fact that there is work. And that work came from repetitions. So the first idea with this anti-sales mentality is we think that it's all talent. And because of that, we think that we are not capable of it. What I have realized lately, what I have realized lately is sales is a process. Okay, so let me explain. So again, I'm an insurance company. We sell insurance. Mind you, when you call somebody, the word insurance is enough for them to cut the call. Okay? As simple as that. Let me tell you that. Now, that's obviously because of all the negative perception towards insurance that has been created, or all the aggressive sales in our country that has been going for like multiple years now with insurance. Like, it's basically an incentive misalignment issue. Salespeople were told, hey, go out there, sell more, you earn more, irrespective of whether the customer actually needs it, whether the customer is getting the right product for themselves. Just sell because you make more. So that incentive misalignment has created this whole stigma that's like salespeople are scams because they just want us to buy a premium. And then when it comes to getting the actual service, which is the claim for our insurance, they're out of the picture. So this again is incentive misalignment issue. But rejection is very common, right, in insurance sales. Let's say I make 200 sales calls, okay, out of which I have converted none. This is true. I mean, I probably made 400 sales calls at this point, and I haven't converted maybe even more than 400. Yeah, I would say probably around in the range of 500, 600 sales calls so far. I haven't converted zero. All right. For the past 30 calls, or no, for the past 60 calls or so, I have been taking notes, aggressively analyzing everything that I did after every call and making sure all my mistakes are all written down. And I have like this book where it's all there. Now, what that whole process made me realize is sales is really a game of data. Okay. And it's a game of discipline and work. So, what I mean by that is it's the art of developing a sales script. I don't know how many businesses in India follow sales scripts or actually develop sales scripts. In the West, it's huge. The sales script is like a Bible for a salesman. I don't care who you are. This is what like I've heard like Alex Hermosi and stuff say, right? They don't care who you are. You can be the most charismatic, you can be the most talented, the most good looking, the most smooth talking, the most like knowledgeable person in the world. You don't fucking go away from the script. So that got me thinking that, okay, listen, if it's all about the script, how do you really develop the script? Now, this is why a lot of people probably hate sales, because developing the script is work. Okay, especially in the starting period, it is a lot of fucking work. In fact, just the other day, I was watching this video of Alex Hermosi, and he's like, people fought fucking wars to develop the script. Just follow the script. And I couldn't agree with him more because I'm going through the process of doing that myself. Developing a script is brutal. You're getting shit, you're not gonna convert jack shit, but you're learning. You're developing a process, you're understanding the psychology behind, okay, this is how you use this word. And mind you, word by word, the script is developed. It's something that even I struggled to grasp. Like in the beginning, I was like, yeah, you know what? You have keywords and the people follow, like, structurally, they just follow the keywords and then they go through it. Like, they don't, it's not like they literally know word for word the script. But he is like, dude, I make my salespeople have two sheets. Okay. In one sheet, he mentions like the script completely. In the other sheet, he also mentions the script completely. Now, what the salesperson has to do, they need to go through the entire sheet of the sales script and then scratch out one word from the top. Okay. Now, the second time they go through the entire script again and they scratch out another word. And this is apparently like the fastest way to learn a script, and it's clinically tested or something. Is like very science backed way of learning a script. And that's what he makes his employees do. And they go word for word when they go for the sales script. So it takes that amount of discipline to develop a script. Now, when you do it that way, it's not really a game of luck anymore. It's not a game of charisma or she's smarter than me or she's a better communicator than me. No. A script, follow the fucking script. Now, here are certain things that I have realized with developing a script. Going back and analyzing is crucial. A lot of times, what I might be doing is making notes of these calls while it's happening as fast as I can, as much as I can. With some calls, I've even tested recording it from another phone. Again, obviously, all the customer information stays very discreet and all of that. Nothing gets out there. But it's just to understand what words are working, what tonality is working, what pauses are working. Okay, this pause helped with moving this customer into the next phase, or this raise of tone helped convincing the customer that we're legit, or the speed at which you spoke got the message across more clear. So it's just this whole process where we're going back and forth, doing a lot. Obviously, volume is very important, right? I can come up with a script and I can test it with 10 calls and say that the script is not going to work because it did not convert any one of those 10 calls. That's just not enough data. There, like you, that's the thing. You make this small tweak. You need to test it at least like 30 to 50 times to know, okay, whether it's going to work. If it works, you keep it. If not, you start all over again. That's the tedious part about scripts. And the crazy thing though about developing a script is when you do develop a script, you develop a system, a process. The way I see it is I know that if I put my heart and soul into developing a script, work really hard on it, try to fine tune things like a machine and make it perfect, then tomorrow we have a perfect sales script that I can go out and give it to somebody and be like, hey, look, this is the script. You follow the script. I don't care who you are, do whatever you want, just follow the script. I have gone through fucking wars to figure out that script, follow it. And guess what? I am more confident, irrespective of who that person is. Maybe even if he's not a good communicator, and if he follows the script, it's going to work. I know I've been screaming script, script, script from that time. You might be asking, hey, like, isn't sales supposed to be natural? Like, the greatest salesmen in the world are the salesmen who make you buy something and you haven't even realized that you've been sold, right? So that's something that a lot of people say. Now, I totally agree with that. So when I say script, the first important thing of sales is how much are you listening, right? Even before the whole script thing, it is how much are you actually listening to the customer, which is something that I suck at right now. I'll be very honest with you. I just don't know how to ask enough questions. Like for me, it's like, how do you ask? Like everybody's like at sales, to win a sale, the customer needs to speak more than you. Like, how do you ask them questions? Like I don't know, maybe is it because of insurance or what, but like the questions you ask are just so like, yeah, we do have a car. Yeah, we have a family. Yeah, we have an insurance. And I'm like, fuck. And maybe that's the lack of experience. I mean, it's definitely the lack of experience, because good salesmen know what to do even when they go around that and they figure things out. But the message that I'm trying to get here is, when I say script, don't think that, yeah, this person, this is a really good salesman, is somebody that's like, yeah, sir, you need to buy a health insurance. It's good for you, sir. That's why like you will be benefited. Your family will be benefited. No, that's where tonality comes into the picture and your style of communication, really, where there is a good flow to it. It seems natural. And at the same time, your script is not one big message you read. Your script is a response to everything that the customer has. So the customer says this, you know exactly what to respond. The customer says this specific thing, like for insurance, I already have an insurance. I know what to say. The customer says, I have an insurance with my company. I know what to say. So that's what a script is. It's not this book that you read out of, it is a Bible that has an answer for everything related to your business. In the insurance industry, the way generally the sales script works is it's very similar in a lot of industries. Like you might just have to tweak the location and the industry. But for that, for the most part, there's these four parts. Okay, the first part is prospecting, where you're actually understanding the customer, you're getting the customer to like you. What I've heard is this part is it's probably the most crucial part of sales. A lot of people think the next part is the most crucial part. But from what I've heard is the first part is the most crucial part. I haven't figured it out yet for myself. I can't wait for the day to have figured this out. The next part is objections. Everybody says objection handling, how to handle this objection, how to handle that objection. That's where the script really comes into the picture. Now, not gonna lie, it is crucial. I'm spending a lot of time right now understanding both the objection and the prospecting phase, because if you do the prospecting right, is what I've heard again, the objection, it'll still be there, but you've already convinced the person. So after prospecting and objection, you've got closing, which is you basically close the deal. You do it in a way where you get them to pay. And I haven't even gotten to the stage, so I can't share anything about it. I've gone into objections and prospecting, a lot of objections and a lot of prospecting, not a lot of progress. Maybe I'll create another version of this soon. So closure is the next part where you get them to buy. And then referrals is the last where you're like, hey, can you recommend us to more people? This again, referrals also really matters with like prospecting, because if you actually did the prospecting really well, the customer actually saw why they should get what they need to get, then they're more likely to refer. Apparently, because I haven't gotten to that point, at least not with Nixon. Yeah, I'm going to paint me actually, no. But that's the whole thing for this, how sales working right now for me for the most part. What I've also realized is it's hard work. It's just hard work. Like the easiest thing could be that I'm just going to do a million calls, and mind you, you will learn. There's no question about it. You do 1,000 sales calls, you will learn. It's not like by unless you're dumb and you're just like a robot, like Allah sir, buy your insurance, then you're probably not going to learn anything. But if you're actually thinking like, okay, this didn't work, let me try this time. This didn't work, let me try this time. Hey, this worked. Let me try this time. If you're doing that, then you will learn. You will learn in 500, in 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 calls. You will learn what it takes to do good sales. But it's not a process. Only you know. Your mind then is like this engine behind the sales. You don't have a system. So developing that system takes discipline. It takes hard work. That I've realized for sure. Now, that being said, coming back to the original point of this video, like I don't know why people hate sales in our generation. Like I really don't understand it. What's scary is the founder of the company that I work at right now made this point. Like, Dhruv, you think your generation is going to buy insurance through somebody like us? No, they're going to do it digitally. Now, I don't know. That's obviously his thesis. And it makes sense. It makes a lot of logical sense. We do everything on our phones, right? From buying like our underwear to like buying tomato or something to cook, right? Like everything is on our phone. Why would we go to call somebody and waste our time and try to understand insurance from some company to buy it? And it was true. And that's obviously that's an art of its own, selling digitally and all of that. But that's sad and scary. I don't want to be like a boomer that's stuck in the past. But I remember doing door-to-door sales, right? For Paint Me, we did it for a bit. I experimented with it. There was rush. There was like this rush. Not even closing a sale. We obviously didn't get any sales through it, but going and knocking on people's door, and then them even giving you like 5 minutes of their time, that's a huge win. And then them saying that, hey, you know what, we might be really interested in this, we'll call you back. That's a huge fucking win. So maybe content is that rush in today's world because we're selling ourselves through content, even, right? Maybe it is. I don't know, but that's a thought to ponder, I guess. But I don't know. I just wish I could have experienced more of the sort of selling that I was talking about. Anyways, old people are still around, so we'll continue to sell them for now and make the best of it. But that's the end of this video, guys. My videos are super long for a reason. I know that a lot of people are not going to make it to this point. If you did, then you're going to kill it because you actually have the mind, the brain, the energy, the heart to sit and watch something for more than like 15-20 minutes, while most of the people of our generation are just busy doom scrolling. So good on you, my friend. I hope you gained some value from this. If you did, share it to somebody that can use it. And that's about the end of the sales video. Until next time, bye.